Welcome back to the video, or welcome back to the channel, I should say. It's been a little while. Last video y'all saw was me tearing down the struts for my car, right? Or the diesel dipping to remove that. So they still are yet to be sandblasted, and it's already September. Weather's been just too hot to be outside sandblasting here in Arizona. It's been reaching well over 110 every day. And then monsoons came, and it's been on and off for what I've been able to do. But I got some big plans here for the MR2. Don't mind the crooked sticker. I am getting a new one that will match my car once I'm done with what I want to do. But you guys can probably see it there, kind of. But I've started doing the body work on this car for what's about to come with it. So basically, what I'm going to be showing you guys today is what I learned for sanding down Bondo, because there were definitely, like, right here, there was a small little gash that actually went through the bumper. This is a fiberglass bumper. You guys can see, like, all these cracks and everything. Well, let's see. You guys can see like, a couple of scrapes, but, like, yeah, phone quality is still a little bit rough, but you guys can see, like, all the cracks and stuff that are highlighted by the Bondo that I used. I'll show you guys a clip of that towards the end, but if you recognize it, it's the glazing and spot putty. This was actually another big gash, which we'll see, because this will be the first area that I work on. But that was actually a good size gash that was probably about a dime or so. But basically, I've started just sanding this down. Just basically just doing body work on this thing. So one thing I have not updated you guys on is a little while ago, last month, actually, somebody hit my car or something. It was parked down at the bottom of the driveway on the road, and this driver's side was facing outwards. And I actually got like a little dent right there. I don't know how well camera's gonna pick it up, but it's right there. It's like super minor. Then you get over here, there's another one. There's actually a total of 7 of these. Then there's another one right there. That one's actually way more pronounced. Like, I can feel that. Then there's actually another one right here with another one right here underneath it. And then there's another slim one right here. Not sure what angle. Yeah, there you guys can see from right there. And then you have another one right here, which you guys can see quite well. We're going to actually be sanding these down probably early tomorrow morning. Probably about the time that this video will be uploaded, I'm going to take a sander out here and just lightly sand the paint away. And then we're going to do a whole Bondo filling there with normal Bondo. And then fix the headlight. It was had a bunch of like orange peel, and it was nasty, so I got that pretty well smoothed down. I'm gonna go over it with about 600 grit later. And there was another massive hole right here. Not really massive, but it was about if you were to cut a dime or cut like a nickel into a quarter, like a quarter size of a nickel. That's about the good dent that was right there. I did end up restoring this a while ago, a few weeks ago actually, when the car was still in the garage, swapping transmissions on this thing. I should have made a video on it, but I didn't. But I ended up painting over a lot of this stuff here, just basically to prevent the rust, which future video, we will be installing my brand new aluminum radiator. It'll help with cooling and everything, so there's going to be a whole video on that once I can get coolant, because we're going to do an entire coolant drain and fill on this car, just to help any of you other MR2 enthusiasts if you have to do your coolant. That video basically explain it all. It's going to be a little bit lengthy. You guys can see there was a little rust spot right here from like a rock chip. I can't even feel that anymore. Where else have I started doing things? Oh, and like right up here on this this is my T-top actually right here, and I had like some big old scratches right in there. and it would have not have looked good. Because I will end up painting these. I'm not going to do what I do plan on in the future. There was another rock chip right there. No big deal. And like, the more you look over this car, you can see there's another one that I didn't even see. I just managed to see the little bit of rust that was there. There was actually a decent sized gash right here, which most of this was probably me. I don't know. And like, I've sanded this down. Like, I'm eventually gonna sand down this whole car, wet sand it with about 800 grit sandpaper before doing what I'm gonna do. And like you guys can see, I've yet to wash off my car since I've done this, and that was a couple days ago. Just been real busy with work, so I haven't really been making YouTube videos. And then you guys can see right in here, there's a bunch of that crack that I was talking about. And like, this is still got to get sanded because I can feel all of this. So I'm actually thinking of sanding down this whole rear bumper and primering it, or possibly just sanding it down and doing filler primer wherever it needs and then smooth it all out. I don't know yet. I haven't quite decided, but it's just about around the whole thing, and what I plan on doing, it's going to show it. So these taillights are still doing pretty well out here in the sunlight. I mean, they're pretty dirty at the moment, but let's get straight into explaining what we're going to do here. We're going to start right here. So basically what I did was I picked up this wet dry sandpaper pack from AutoZone for a whopping, I think, $7 after tax and everything. So basically it comes with 80 grit, 180 grit, let's get the flash out of the way, 220 grit, 320 grit, 400, and 600. Once you get to the Bondo stage, I would recommend going either 220 or 320 depending on how much you did. Also, it would probably help to have like an orbital sander pads for this, but I couldn't find any local to me in stock for this amount, and I gotta have this done in by the end of next week. So definitely, if you just have small spots like I do at the moment, then well, you can get away with just this. I mean, if you want to get a couple packs of this, have somebody help you, it's totally worth it. It's like $7 a pack, and I've never had an issue with this brand of sandpaper. I actually I'm only sponsored by Evaporust at the moment, which I have not purchased any lately, and it's just been really busy. I haven't been able to restore any projects, any of that, other than what I'm doing for this. So hopefully here within the next couple of weeks, this thing will be running and driving on the road. Most of you MR2 owners, if you're watching this, you know how much of a pain it is to, don't mind the dirty motor, but you know how much of a pain it is to correct your timing right here. My cam gear, it's a little bit off. It's done it to where, if you can see my distributor over here, it's all the way maxed out, pulled upwards, like towards the camera, and it's only giving it a 5-degree timing instead of what I need at the 10 for idle. But yes, it's a brand new distributor. That was the whole idling misfiring issue at higher RPMs, which I'll insert a clip of that at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's get straight into doing this body work on this car. Okay, so I don't know where my tripod is, so I'm just going to be doing this with my one hand. So here we are starting off with some of the 320 out of the kit, just because that's really all I need at the moment. This is from, I did that other side just to make sure that it was going to do all good. So basically, just make sure you have a lot of water for this. And like, I'll catch some of whatever runs off on my sandpaper just for extra. And once you see it actually start to gum up like that in your sandpaper, get more water. So remember, anytime you set down your sandpaper, set down the side that you're not using. So I'll set it down on this flat side here, and I only use this side here. This typically helps when you have two hands and you can use your other hand to spray the water onto the car and on your sandpaper at the same time. So I'll do that really quick. And then just make sure you follow your body lines, which is one thing that I found to be extremely key. Like, don't just do your little patch of Bondo right here just like this. You want to stretch it across your body panel to smooth anything. And you guys will actually be able to see some more of the cracks here. So, sandpaper is bogging up. We're actually going to set that up there, and then you guys can see it clears it off quite nice. And that's basically where we're left at with Bondo. And yes, this glazing putty is wet sandable. So you just have to make sure that when you go to wash off the car, you're not using something like a pressure washer, but you just use a hose and a little bit of microfiber. But there you guys go. You can see that gash that was right there. It's actually highlighting right here. So just make sure you cover more than what you Bondoed, just to make sure everything is smooth. And like, I can't feel that whatsoever. So we're gonna set the sandpaper down, we're gonna rinse it off, try and get as much of this off now as we can while it's still wet. Like you guys can see, it's already dried, but that'll come off with just a little bit of hose pressure. So basically that was a good gash through the rear bumper, which I know I didn't do that. That actually came on the car, just like all the cracking and everything there, to where when I had really just bumped the bumper and a bunch of the paint just flaked up and off. So we're gonna get up and over here to this, and this is more of a straight edge, just in case you have something that's a little bit easier. So this part has not been, this has only been treated with the Bondo glazing putty. Yes, the glazing putty, because I had only noticed this the other day when I was doing it, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So you see how I'm going about 6 inches past on each side, just to keep it all smooth. And then make sure, so if you see like hard body lines, don't focus on them. You will destroy it, and then you have to do it all over again, and then you actually have to form it. So make sure you do it evenly on both sides, extending your work past where you have Bondoed. And then you guys can see that little chip that I filled is now going to be completely smooth. Sprayed off with some water. I'm just using one of my old water bottles that ended up becoming a little warped from when I got it, actually. But you guys can see that is completely smooth now. So basically all you have to do is follow that rule on this. I mean, it's only been a 13-minute video, but I think it's been a little while since I've uploaded, so I think you guys might enjoy this. We're actually going to, nice thing is about having the T-tops is, when I spray the water, I can scoop up a little bit of that with like the edge of the sandpaper, and really get that. And I did put a lot on here, just because it was quite a gnarly couple of scratches, but I am extending it past. And then make sure, like right up here on the top, you get whatever was there as well. And I'm not worried about hitting the edge of the T-top, just because I'm going to be, if I do happen to do anything to them, I'm just going to fix it with some, I have a couple methods I want to try first on some spare glass that I have from the sandblasting cabinet. But basically, we're just gonna sand over this whole entire thing, just making the whole thing smooth. Alright, I'll bring you back once I have this area finished, then y'all can see it. Okay, so now you guys can see it. The glare is probably gonna be too much, so. Alright, there it is. You guys can see those couple of scratches right there. I can't feel them now, so. Basically, that's gonna wrap it up for the video today, guys. Basically, all you need to do is, for your bodywork, is get some Bondo, which we'll cover in the next video, what type of Bondo you need for the bodywork that you're doing. And basically just how to sand down that glazing and spot putty, and just what I found to be helpful just searching the web. I've never done this before. until I decided to learn on my car, which hopefully be taking it to a couple of car meets here local to me in a couple of weeks, just because we're doing that whole new radiator. I do know I have poor flow through there, just because of how much it pressurizes my hot side of the lines on the engine bay, the lines that are going up here and go to the radiator. Like, it's tough to squeeze them, but it's not so hard to squeeze this side. So I know I'm having a little bit of poor flow, so it's the whole reason for buying this aluminum radiator, which I'll cover when I get to that. So thank you guys for watching and staying with me here at the workshop. I will see you guys in the next episode.